A blazing yellow fire roared in the night. The children wondered why they finally agreed to camp out for the weekend under the watchful eye of their campmaster, as they roasted marshmallows to a golden brown. Little could be said about the scrawny-looking man. He was a lazy scoutmaster indeed, camping in an RV while the kids used old tents. The stars were out. Stories of all kinds were told around the warm flames. Some funny, others interesting, yet nothing scary. The boys all tried showing a manly attitude by being out in the vast wilderness. The true test of their grand manliness was that someone had to bring up at least one scary story. The campmaster strolled out of the safety of his RV to start what everyone else had been afraid to do. He sat down near the children and began his bone-chilling story of a man who escaped a very secure prison. The criminal made himself at home in the very woods they are in now. Some noisy owls hooted, bringing about a cold chill to the children's skin. The campmaster told the shaking boys that although the police and wildlife rangers searched to the best of their abilities, there was not a hint or clue of the criminal to be found. The fire reflected off the campmaster's small eyes as he bent closer to the fire. He curled his index finger in and out to bring the boys closer. The reason why the police drastically searched for this criminal had been because of his heinous crime. He would kidnap kids, mostly boys, and skin them alive. The criminal would then use the skin as clothing to mask his deep burns that he had all over his body. As a child, he endured numerous forms of abuse given to him by his drug-using parents. One day, the child angered his drunk dad. The dad picked up a plugged-in clothes iron and melted his son's flesh. The skin bubbled as the boy screamed. His father finally stopped when the boy passed out. The father didn't like it when there was no more screaming. The tale made the boys huddle closer, feeling a cold breeze fend off the campfire's light. The campmaster looked at the boy's eyes and told them that the boy finally ended up getting his revenge. He sliced both his parents' throats and wore their skinned faces. The boy would often put on his parents' faces while looking into the mirror, pretending to say words like, "I love you," through flopping lips. The police finally caught the boy and sent him to prison, where he later escaped. The criminal, now a man, might be around the area now, looking at the boys for some new skin, since the one he wore now had been far too old and faded to wear. The silence had been broken by the campmaster's laugh. He told the boys that he was only kidding. The story had been a total fabrication. The lazy man strolled back to his RV and bid the boys goodnight as he closed the tin door behind him. The kids placed extra wood in the fire before heading into their tents. An hour passed as the winds became stronger. The boys woke up to see sprinkles of water hit the tent's material. Rain came down on the campsite. The fire extinguished, leaving the camp dimly lit with the light of the full moon. The strong breeze howled around the boys, making them huddle together. Lightning began flashing in all directions, forcing one of the boys to get up to call the campmaster. However, his feet stopped cold as another boy heard something coming close to the camp. Once again, they regrouped, hearing heavy footsteps of an entity they couldn't see. The boys wondered if a bear entered the camp. It wasn't uncommon for the furry giants to linger around campsites in search of food. Lightning flashed once again, showing a brief image of a big man with a large knife in his hand. The children teared up as the giant shadowy silhouette came closer. Strangely enough, the mysterious image of the man stopped by the front door of the campmaster's RV. The boys could not see everything that happened, but they heard the tin door tear open as the screams of the campmaster filled the woods. The boys shivered in fear, seeing brief images from the lightning's flashes, showing the big man skinning the screaming campmaster. In the morning, police arrived to the campsite when the parents told the authorities that they weren't getting their calls answered by the campmaster. Officers found the frightened boys still holding each other, dead silent and shivering from the fear they just endured. The skinned body of the campmaster had been impaled on the RV with a large rusty knife. A message had been written on the RV exterior, worded in wet ash from the campfire. The message read, "Don't believe every campfire story you hear. I don't skin children."